Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Exceptional. What's happening? I miss seeing you. What's up, Blingy? You all right?
I'm good. I'm excited to see you this weekend coming to,
Yeah.
it's not the improv, it's the Funny Bone.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll get it right when I see you. All right.
All right, that sounds good to me. So funnybonekc.com for everybody to get their tickets. And you'll be here tomorrow, 7 o'clock and 9:45 show, and then also 6 o'clock on Sunday. How have things
Yes.
been with you? How is your summer, your June? How is your summer and your Juneteenth?
Well, Juneteenth is I mean, it's my first one. I'm breaking myself into it. It's the first. It's weird to have a holiday in the middle of summer.
Yes.
so it's gonna take. We didn't have any. I think we're all getting our feet under us in terms of Juneteenth, but I had a pretty good one. I was off. From radio. I get to spend a little time with the family and get ready to get back out on the road and see what happens.
Yeah, speaking of the family, you just welcomed a new granddaughter.
I
Congratulations.
did. Thank you very
So,
much. I had very little to do with it, but you would think so because it's pretty expensive. But other than that, yeah,
yeah, they got you wrapped around their you got the
oh
or
yeah,
they got you wrapped around their finger.
it's different because my kids were ugly and my grandkids are not. So it's easy. It's easy. It's true. It's true. My kids were so funny looking. I kept the picture that the wallet came with, and it's hard to explain three white kids to people for no reason at all.
BL, you gotta stop. So I know that you didn't want your granddaughter to call you like grandpa or pop pop. Is she still calling you him?
Of course, yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I just want her to because she's a very bright, intelligent woman, and I want her to sound ignorant when she talk about me. Like it's him home. So
Now,
I want to see that she's not grammatically correct. So it's
do
fun.
people ever ask like who is him though? Like that's your grandpa. Like, do they have to clarify it or anything, or
Yeah,
they're just like, okay.
you can always tell who I am. That's my little baby girl. She has very little use for me right now, but she will. They need something. I'll be around. You know what it is. You
Yeah,
know what it
yeah.
is.
You're always ready to swipe that credit
Oh,
card.
for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
All right, so this weekend you'll be coming to Kansas City, and it's
Uh-huh.
also Greek picnic. They're having a Greek picnic
Right.
this weekend as well. And I know recently you crossed over, and you are a brother of Omega Sci-Fi. And
I am indeed. I am indeed. And I guess, uh, so then after that, we'll go to the clay. But I'm excited. I don't know that I'll be able to make the picnic, but I'll get a chance to fellowship with a lot of the brothers out there and have a good time.
yeah,
And
I
then
was
I'll see
going to
all of
mention
them at the clay. So,
you're going to the conclave. What's the best thing that's been since you crossed over and you're now Greek?
I think for me, it was always, I'd always, like, I pursued being an Omega for 35 years. And I can say that it's their commitment to the uplift of our people and to being involved in our communities always appealed to me. And that aspect of it has, my walk has been just wonderful. It's been everything that I thought it would be. It was well worth the 35 years. So I'm just excited to be a member of the brotherhood and a chance to serve her and to uplift my people. So that's in that way we're simpatico. So that really lifts my spirits.
Speaking of uplifting people, I know that you recently had to sit down with President Joe Biden and
Uh-huh.
voting, and it's an election season right now. And I know that you're very big into politics. What are you stressing the most to get people to the polls and just this election season?
Well, ultimately, and I think that it's difficult because every election cycle, people tell you how important it is, but ultimately, there are people who want democracy to be diminished. There are people who want to go back to what we were, and the fortunes of Black people and anybody else. If you're not a white male, your best path forward is forward, not backward. We can't be what we were. I think there's nothing back there for us, and I think ultimately there are people who are trying to take us back instead of move us forward. I can't think of anything, if I look at the administration or the legislation that people are forwarding in all over the country, even in Missouri, is to be repressive. The only freedom they seem to be interested in is giving people the freedom to possess and carry guns, not to give a woman the autonomy of her body, not for people to learn their history, not for people to love who they love or worship who they worship or speak who they speak. To me, the expansion of freedom is on the ballot as opposed to the minimization of it. And I think it's very clear that one group is trying to take us back to a place where we were marginalized, and the other group, although not perfect, at least is a pathway forward. So,
And what do you say though to the young people that still feel like their vote doesn't matter? Because when I
then
speak,
they're
a
then
lot
they're
of
stupid. then they're dumb, because this world is theirs. Now, the reason that things don't change is, and this is a thing that's the most ironic. If you look at the demographics of who votes the most, the older you are, the more you vote. So older people are shaping a world that they have little stake in. The younger people who have the most stake are not, and that's ultimately, whether you do go to the polls or you don't, you're saying something. You are voting, and generally, it's something you don't want to say. So I think it's exhausting telling people to do things for their own good.
Right.
So I'll talk to people who want to listen. If they don't, I don't know how you call yourself a man or an adult and you don't want to be involved in your future. That's silly to me.
Right. I agree. Now, switching gears, because I know that you're a California native with your California hat
Oh,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yesterday was a big moment in hip hop when Kendrick Lamar, he had his
Yeah.
Juneteenth pop up. How did you feel to see like everybody on stage and just California representing?
Well, it was funny because I hadn't seen it till this morning when I woke up. But it makes me. I mean, I think that I'd always known. I guess he lives around the corner too, so he's a neighbor and a friend, and he grew up not too far from where I grew up. But it's always nice to see somebody you saw as talented and really being able to galvanize the city and to uh, you know give pride to a group of fragmented people. Like a lot of those people generally wouldn't be in the same space unless they were fighting. So it was nice to see them all having a good time, all just celebrating and dancing and enjoying each other, as opposed to the other way. So anybody, I think there are a couple of universal languages. Laughter is one, and music is another. And so the things that bring us together, when you can bring a city as fragmented as this together, it's more power to you.
Absolutely. So did you take a side though in the
Yeah,
whole?
of course, of course.
Okay, so I'm just going to assume Kendrick Lamar.
Well, in terms of taking a side, I think they're both talented cats, but I think Kendrick is the first guy that I saw go at Drake and win like everybody else. And it seemed as if he wanted to do it. And I think, what came out of it was, I think, two talented men, nobody got hurt. It was, I think it was the greatest rap beef I've ever seen, and the greatest diss tracks, series of diss songs I've ever heard. But I think in the end, it was an artistic battle. Didn't get, I don't think it got violent or heavy handed. And I think in the end, he showed, I think he is as talented a lyricist as I've ever seen, and I think has ever existed.
I'll
So
just say this. I am a big Kendrick Lamar fan. I am Team Drake, although I know that Kendrick Lamar did win in this
yeah,
situation,
he did.
but
Yeah, he did a lot.
he
It,
didn't win
it
a
don't,
lot.
but yeah,
But DL, I just want to say this. Kendrick Lamar, he doesn't drop music often. And the reason why I'm disappointed is it took Drake to rile him up. And he has all these
yeah.
songs about
You know what? Drake people are always gonna find a way to make Drake have to be responsible for. There was an old adage: "We'll serve no wine before time." Maybe for Kendrick, it's a rhyme. I think this. I think that when you're an artist, you got to make the music you want when you want, and it's got to be according to your timetable schedule. But Drake is very prolific, so to me, it was great for hip hop. It was great for the genre. It was great to inspire artists, and I think it was a great battle. But in the end, Drake got his ass whipped. It's just
I
true.
know in the end, but I just don't like it when you have to name drop people to get other people to pay attention to you because Kendrick Lamar is great within himself.
Stop it. He got his ass whipped. Stop it. You come on. Stop it. Stop
Now,
it.
hold on,
Stop.
DL, but we can talk the same for other comedians who want to name drop you and try and stir the pot, like what's recently happened out in these comedy streets.
You know what? To me, what somebody says or thinks about me is none of my business. I think a cheer and a boo always have felt the same to me. I don't necessarily. There are people that I dislike who have conversations about me. There are people that I like who have conversations about me. So ultimately, they can't chew my food for me.
So do you think though that the comedy game might have gotten so soft that people they can't tell their jokes, so they have to throw jabs like this and get
I,
attention?
you know, I think that people take the path of least resistance sometimes. I think that there are a lot of outlets that, like, to me, Club Shay Shay is just like it's very messy to me. It's like it's like Wendy Williams got a weight set. So I mean, I mean, to me, I just don't truck in that kind of environment. So I mean, I know talented people that will find a way to have conversations, and I guess that's one that people think is necessary. For me, it's just noise.
Absolutely. So, books, I know that you are a New York Times best-selling author. Let's put some
A
respect.
three-time New York Times bestseller author. Let's, if we're gonna come on now, if we're gonna
Three
say it,
times. Three times.
three.
Your last book, it was Surrender White People, right?
Yes,
Okay,
that
so
was
do
my
you
last
have
one. I'm writing a book now called Charlie's Boy, which is
okay.
about my father. The best conversations I've had with my father have been in the last 5 years, and he's been gone. But the things that he said, it's about a retrospective look at how he raised me, and it'll be interspersed with the way my kids see my parenting style. So it'll be funny and melancholy and heartwarming, and I'm really excited. It's the book I'm the most excited about.
So I don't know if you do therapy, but is this book a form of therapy for you?
Well, to me, catharsis is being on the radio. It's being on the road. It's so I don't know that I would say that it's therapy, but I think some of the things it's easier to know a thing than to say it out loud. And unfortunately, in most of my endeavors, I have to say the things I know out loud, and I think that's a luxury that most people don't have. Like most people don't get to say what it is they truly feel, or get to express how they really think. And I think my job is to do that, in all kinds of mediums. And so I guess it is a level of catharsis, but I don't know it's a salve for anything, but it is interesting having to say things out loud and hear yourself say them.
Absolutely. Now, wrapping up the interview, I know you've been to Kansas City many times. What's your barbecue place of choice? We're going to start a
Of
barbecue.
course, Arthur Gates, Arthur Bryant's, but there's something I had in Kansas City I've never had anywhere else,
What?
and it's at Jack Stacks or Stacks. What is it
The
called?
beef ribs?
It's the lamb ribs.
The lamb ribs.
I Bananas. It's
Okay.
bananas. I've never had them anywhere else. I never had even heard of them.
Right.
And of course, Gates is a classic, Arthur Bryant, all that. But I've never had or even heard of lamb ribs, and every time I come down there, it's something I have to have. Y'all just have. I mean, it's unfair because now y'all have so many great barbecue. So
Right.
it's Kansas City, from when I used to come 25 years ago, and the Epicurean, and the body, where all those body works,
And you know,
now it's a foodie hippie place. Now it's a lot of joy. The best I've had lamb rib, and the best burger I've ever had anywhere is at a hotel in Kansas City.
really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Anywhere. They took this burger, they took bacon, filet mignon, and brisket, and something, and grinded it up into a patty. Man, when I tell you, I mean, I'm telling you, so it used to be that you would go to Kansas City, hear good music, good people, but now it's as good a food city as I've been to in a while.
Yes. Well, get ready to gain some pounds when you come to
No,
KC.
no, I ain't doing that. No, I ain't gonna do that.
Well, DL, I always appreciate you. You were the first comedian that I ever met. And when I was an intern, they asked me if I could go to the improv and bring you up on stage.
Yeah,
And I thought I was going to throw up because I was so nervous. So
yeah.
for me to get to interview, it's always a joy to me. And I
And
always,
every time you interview me, what happens? Something great. Played a lotto today.
yes, because you are my good luck charm.
Yeah, yes, I am. Tell them. Act right now.
Well, DL, thank you so much as always. Get your tickets to go see him at the Funny Bone, improvkc.com. He'll be here tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Anything else,
It's on a
DL?
Rosa.
Zona
It's on a Rosa. Yeah.
Rosa.
All right,
DL,
gorgeous.
I appreciate you. I'll see you this weekend.
For sure. For sure.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.